Hi everybody, I'm Gwels and I bring you the short overview over the recent Heroes of the Storm developers AMA on Reddit. AMA, that means Ask Me Anything, so there were the community and players were able to ask any questions about the game and the developers might have answered that. So the main topic were hero balance and hero movement speed changes from the recent balance patch. And yes, this video is me accompanying the Reddit post I'm doing where there's a detailed list, and you can check this out and check anything out in detail. Here I'm just going quickly over some things and mention those and talk about that. Just so yeah, let's start. And so here we are. That's the Reddit thread. You should see this. Excuse me. And there is so the first question was about, can we make XP much more visible? And the player was asking somehow to make it, the XP indicators more visible, and that is a good thing. Imo, the developer from Blizzard, said that they are planning or testing some ways to indicate the XP collection, so make it so that people better knowledge how important soaking is, like small indication numbers or something like this. Because in my opinion, that's a very good thing, because in this game soaking is so important and it's so silly that some players even don't care for it that much. So good thing, good change, good information. They are glad we're enjoying the movement changes, or some of them are last. But we see more stats, see in the target info panel, and that's what they said. There will be some more information on they are planning, they want to show more statistics, but they are always fighting over not causing too much clutter, or they call it analyzers, paralyzers. So they have to figure that out. But they have some changes coming shortly for the tap screen statistics, and they want to hear our feedback. I think it's a good step in the right direction. In my opinion, actually, the more statistics, the better. An esport title needs all the transparency in terms of statistics, so the more you give us, the better. And you know, like Hotslogs is like not working properly, and we need something like this. So yes, 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 good thing. So we go about Witherman, White Man, clemency. So somebody asked about White Man, and they said they are planning on some changes for White Man, and it reads like they are not far away and hitting the Nexus very soon. Some White Man changes, and also clemency should be baseline then, seems like. So interesting, clemency baseline, her W on friendly heroes, nice. So Anna's vampiric rounds level 1. So about somebody questioning about Anna's quest on level 1, where she has to hit people with the poison doses, and if she has 5 on it, it gives a quest stack, and that somehow feels clunky, because after you have to wait the poison wear off to start stacking 5 stacks again, and they agree that's awkward, and they will look into it more or less. So where we go, quality of life. Can you make switching between Vikings faster? No. So somebody said that he's not fine with controlling the Vikings. Somehow it feels not cool. And they said, yeah, there are restrictions, technical reasons, it is how it is, but they look into this, and if they can somehow improve how the Vikings are controlled, maybe like swapping the positions, so instead of having them fixed on 1, 2, 3, you can maybe change one. You can put Eric on run and Olaf on 4 or 3 or whatever, but they have no promises on that. They check this out. In my opinion, it's fine, because when I play the Vikings, I like to have the lanes enumerated, like lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. That would be easier, but whatever, it's okay. So any planned changes for D.Va? This is an interesting one. So yes, they are planned for D.Va, and they actually lacked a lot of information on that. So they are planning on a rework on D.Va, and that will be there soonish, like they're iterating on it. And they said they can't spoil too much, but there's like, she can have 3 interesting builds, seems like. She can be solo laner bruiser build, she can be team support frontliner build, and she can go into a ridiculous self-destruct pilot build. It sounds fun. I think Diva's playing is always fun, and this sounds really cool. So they were aware that she has problems with the identity in the draft. That is a real problem. She doesn't really fit into a draft, and they want to address that with those possible ways to build her. And there are a lot of talent shuffles and improvement and changes, like usually is with the rework. Some changes are interesting to mention. So like she will only have movement speed reduction when she attacking or channeling an ability, so not all the time. And defense metrics can be retargeted on a short cooldown. Big Shot, her second heroic will be baseline in pilot mode, and she will get another heroic instead of its micro missiles. That's cool. Also some specific talents that were asked on, like Rushdown will get will most likely be removed or changed somehow, while Diverting Power will, it looks like Power Diversion Intensifier seems like that it can be improved or somehow it will get better. That's that. So prepare for the Diva rework, which is cool. I think currently Diva is fun but awkward to play, awkward to draft at least. And I'm curious what they will do, and maybe they will do something like XP change maybe. So and more sustain for the offlane build. I don't know. She needs a lot of changes for the offlane. She needs sustain and stuff like this. Yes. So here's a question about the movement speed changes that was done. And so somebody asked, hey, what were your plans with that? Why did you do that? And can you elaborate on that? And they said yes. Since they pulled the camera out a little bit. Since then they had the feeling that the game was a little bit too slow. And so they internally tested from time to time this 10% speed increase, and in the end decided to do this. And they keep an eye on what it would change, and maybe also so they have a look on all the heroes' performances, and there will changes if they are needed. So that's the reason is actually yes. Because of the camera drawn out, they thought the game best felt better with 10% more movement speed. And that's another interesting change. So that's what they said was the main reason, or one of the main reasons. So there are some movement speed. So one player asked especially about some heroes that didn't get the treatment with a 10% movement increase, like Lucio's wall ride bonus, or Lunara's hopping mechanism, or Eric's base speed from the Vikings. And they said they have maybe missed a few of them in the recent updates, but they have plans to update them so that are relatively the same bonus than before. It's cool. How has the speed change affected Nazeebo's spiders? So the tiny legs have to move 10% faster. I don't know. So I don't know how to understand this. Will they be buffing the spiders now, or won't they? So they have to run faster. So I don't know. So whatever. Maybe not, because there's later an posting where they said they will be changing the movement speed stuff, but they won't be changing the skill stuff. Let's go to that later. Sagara. So somebody asked about Sagara's level 20 talents are lame. There's the heroic upgrades and generic talent, Fear of the Storm. So somebody said he has the idea on the talent called Brute Lust, where 2 or 3 Wild Drops are coming down from Zagara with roaches, and they get a buff, and then it's cool. And everybody needs to help him convince Brett. So that will be coming then. So they check it. They maybe have this idea, and someday soon they will test it when they have time. Bring in an interesting new level 20 talent for Zagara. Excuse me. For some ideas. Concerning the recent movement swing, are you making Deathwing? So Anyway, so somebody took the opportunity to ask for Deathwing as the next hero, and the question was just, yes, that is really reliable to the movement changes, and anything is possible in the Nexus. Just like the standard thing. Everybody says, oh you? Oh you? No, that's not the question that was answered. So somebody asked why are Gal's from Shogal, Gal's abilities and talents so rather simple, and they said that is a proposed design element because they want Gal to be a easy SS hero, even for players that maybe haven't played Heroes of Storm before and just start trying it out with a friend. It should be easy to play and have a good time even with no knowledge of Heroes of the Storm at all. So that's why the talents are rather simple in their interaction and not that complicated mechanically, which is in my opinion a good thing. I like this approach. So yeah, if you want to play with your little brother, you can play Gaul and you can try it out. So there's some bug report on Hanzo and Monstrosity on Longboard Ride, okay. State of Auriel. Somebody asked about Auriel, then they said, yes, Auriel is a cool hero, but we haven't looked on her for a long time, and maybe if we have time we will, so nothing concrete. Tassada rework coming soon. Somebody asked about what is going on with the beam, Stutter Step with that beam auto attack. And the answer was rather unclear and mysterious, I think, because they don't mention when Tassada will be coming, so maybe it seems like Diva will be before Tassada, I don't know, or maybe Tassada is just around the corner. They don't mention the time, they just said he will keep his channeled beam auto attack, and they want to stick more closer to the High Templar fantasy from StarCraft, which means that usually High Templars are a little bit more slower. And that is a little bit awkward to fulfill that fantasy because they don't want to give him like a universe, a passively reduced move speed or something. That would be silly and disastrous, that they're saying. But they're planning to do some special cast times or moments, periods of immobility to hit the fantasy. And they said that sounds rather negative now, but when the rework will be there, it will make sense. So yeah, we have to just wait for this. I'm curious where we go on with Tassada rework. Maybe it should be there already, I think. Dust of Disappearance mid-ups to level 20 talent for making people invisible. Somebody asked for giving them a short moment of unrevealable, like some other invisibility talents, and the designer says, yes, could be a thing. I'll have a look on it and then I check if this is possible or not. Yes. Okay. New Chen reworked Brewmaster's balance is hard to maintain on level on exactly 50 brew right now because the costs are different and the gain of brew is also different. So before the rework was easier to maintain on the balance, right now not. But somebody asked maybe change it somehow that it's easier now, but they said no, they liked it that way. They liked how the new Chen is working. They liked how the new Brewmaster's balance is a little bit harder to execute, and it is still currently the strongest talent in that tier. And they think it's fine how it is, and they keep an eye on it, but it's alright. So there's no plans on changing this, which in my opinion is alright. I like it. Especially if it's the strongest talent, there are enough good talents, that's fine. Biggest question of all time, is it possible to add Kyle the Blackthorn Vlaras to the Nexus finally? And their answer is the biggest answer of all time, and yes, they would like to bring a hero like Blackthorn. So many of the team would like him, but nothing concrete, and anything is possible in the Nexus. So blah blah blah, Blackthorn, another Blizzard classic hero alongside the Vikings. Why not? So the problem about smurfing. Somebody asked, smurfing is silly and is not cool, and also stuff like this, yes? And they said, yeah, we understand that can be silly, but we have to be serious as well for new players, so we have to be careful with not be too strict because it can hurt the experience of legitimate players. So nothing concrete here. They just said that maybe for the next season role they will increase the account level needed to play Storm League, which is okay, I think. And everything else they hope will be more clear when from next season on they will show MMR and rank points and that they are connected. So everything will be visible and transparent, and they hope that will help a lot to understand, which is cool. I'm really looking forward for this change for the next season role. That will be cool. Visible MMR, why not 2 years, 3 years ago? So somebody asked for a pogo stick or a horse stick mount from Cardboard, and they said anything is possible in Nexus. So then asking for lowering the vault costs of Valor because it's so mana hungry with the Cultros build. They said sounds reasonable. We check it out if it's possible. Less mana cost of Valor, I like it. I also like the recent Valor buffs, that's cool. Will the Nazebra ever come back to the store? Anything is possible in Nexus. Nazebra mount. So they also here they asked over mastery, showing off mastery in a hero, like if you have a high hero level, 100 or 200 or whatever. They are currently exploring ways how to you can flex or whatever in game, but should keep an eye on that. But yeah. So personal rank adjustment, performance-based matchmaking. So that was a thing like a few seasons ago. They tried the performance-based matchmaking, which didn't really work. They reverted that change, and they still would like to explore that thing and bring something like this. They like it, but they has no priority on this first. So for now, there is no nothing like this. Fine. No personal performance-based matchmaking ranking. Rework Nova. Nope, not currently. Something to share. They have here on the radar, but it's not currently worked on that much. Nothing to share at least. So Magania. So somebody asked about the recent armor balance changes, where they removed stacking armor talents and bonus armor, and they said that they liked this change for now, and they also checked every hero if they are to bake these changes inside, like if they are losing too much because of this, they would buff something, and they are fine with this, and they keep an eye on this, and maybe they buff, but there are no plans for do more for now. A lot of questions here. So this is questions about movement speed changes again. So they for now they liked that the game changes a little bit in this, and they don't want to change all the AoE spells, timing, or flight speed of missiles and stuff. They want to keep it like this and just check how the game is going, and if it necessary, they have the possibility to buff the speed of those skill shots still, like that's a possible buff in the quiver they can use if necessary, but for now they will still keep this, like also like things like the Purify Beam of Atanas, Liming skill shot, AoE abilities, they will keep it like they are now and just have a look on it. That thing. Anything more? I think the big things are done. So yes, here again questions for Kyle Blackthorn. Maybe anything is possible. It would be cool to have another classic style hero, but it's not clear yet. Valera rework is not planned, but they have room to improve her. They are fine with where Karazim is sitting right now, so no plans for changing him. More loadout slots are discussed, but they are not a priority sadly right now. So just 3 loadouts. I would have liked to have more actually. And no skin for Ragnaros right now planned because it's really challenging to do some. But there's soon another armor about design, I think, and then they can do this. Neutral talents like Mule, Bolt of the Storm and stuff. Question about this, and they said yes, they like to get away with the generic talents and make some special variants, special heroes like Diablo's Hellgate and. Yes, especially Sprint was too OP when it existed, though they moved that and just baked into talents for Jaina and Kerrigan, for example. Skins for Cassia, anything is possible in the Nexus. So Ara mode, another thing that's very popular right now. So some questions about Ara mode, and they said they have minor changes to the Aram, and they will show them soon. But they said one problem with Aram is that there are different expectations for that mode from different players. Some want to have a chaotic 5 assassin bloodbath, and some want a rather reasonable team with a tank healer and 3 field teams. So they want to address all of them somehow. That's what they're saying. And shields on the core will no shields on the core will remain. They prefer this with the low death timers. And they will most likely remove Vikings from Aram, but we'll check up if they can bring some heroes back, like Chromio Asmodan. Okay, Aram is fun, Aram is cool. Why not? It's fine for me. It's not my main mode, but whatever. So, any more stuff here? Samuro changes. So they are internally changing some Samuro changes. Testing some Samuro changes, and which sounds interesting, but it's nothing really to share right now, except for they want to shorten the time that a mirror image is lasting, a clone is lasting for the duration, so it doesn't get too annoying. Also, they want to remove too much like jumping or teleport stuff, so that is more counterplay is possible. And also there's like Blade Storm on 20 seconds, which would be wrong actually, but well. The recent Ophia changes were just number changes, and they said yes, we first tried it with number changes. If it's not enough, they will do some functionality changes, but for now it's okay. They keep an eye on Ophia. Attack here, and missing enemy pings and voice lines might come back. They're thinking about this. Cool, I like this. It would be good to have like missing voice lines. So the same questions like movement speed, like Kerrigan's combo is harder to execute because of movement changes, but they keep an eye on this. If this goes down in win rate, they will change this maybe. Yes, question about maps. No, that's not yes, another mastery taunt for Gaul. Maybe they want to make Gaul able to taunt as well. And I think we are mainly through the most things. I think we already covered the main things. Yes, so here, Tyrande, Diablo, Hanzo, they check on them for the next balance patches. So Marganier, the famous French streamer, he suggested changes to Tyrande, Diablo, and Hanzo, and they said, yeah, we check it out on the next patch. Why not? We have a look, but no promises. Another question for Diva, which role she will become, and they said that she will stay Bruiser, and she can talent into different ways, like we said before, one build for offline Bruiser, one build for teamfight frontline support, and one for silly explosions or something like that, so if I remember correctly. That's alright. Let's go on. That's that. I think we are through. There's not all we got here. So Mule, currently they're fine with Mule only on Abathur. They think it fits him. There's no plans for something else. Right, Mule, Jonic talent, build up the strong talent Abathur actually. And that's most likely it. Or do we miss something now? Oh, what is this? Who's the good boy girl? So the dog on the picture, that's Asha. Hi Asha. Oof. 75% good, 25% pointless barking. That's why she's Chihuahua. At least she's just 25 pointless barking and not 50%. You're lucky. So they are checking on Tyrande maybe soon. Elun's Chosen and Celestial Attunement is something they will really check into because they are picked that much on the talent tiers. It's good. Keo Milker is still part of the team and he's just on holiday. Somebody asked me why he's not participating in the AMA. So he's on holiday. Greetings to your holiday, Keo. And yeah, I think that's okay for then. Yes, we got it. We got it. We survived this. So, yes, thank you for watching this video. I think it kept longer than I thought. Check out the Reddit thread I post in the comments. So there's everything detailed. You can check everything up yourself. So I'm Grels and I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good week and see you soon, I think. So yeah, any feedback, by the way, would be appreciated. Bye bye everybody.